Hello and thank you for being here. This is your host, Positive Phil, with the Positive Phil Show. Are you ready to get positive? Why is it so hard to do the little things that could dramatically change my life? Just the little things. I don't know if you have those little things that you could get rid of or you could improve upon. Those little things that can change your life and business dramatically. Today on the show, we have Joe Sinkwitz, old school SEO. I like it because everybody knows SEO, it seems. Everybody knows. Everybody's a marketer. It's tough. Anybody can say they're a marketer or a marketeer, but are they doing it? Are they building new products to keep it up? Are they in mastermind groups? Do they dedicate their lives? Because you have to. It changes. It's very entrepreneurial. Joe Sinkwitz, he has been in digital marketing for the past 20 years. SEO, reputation management, Fortune 500 companies, VCs, public individuals, and he's a CEO of Intellifluence. Unbelievable. If you really want to grow your company or your brand, yeah, you can put up ads on pay-per-click or whatever, but get other people within your industry to talk about your company. People that have huge influence. And he has a platform to do it. I love this platform. I signed up last week. People are spreading the Positive Phil Show around. It's awesome. Let's listen to a clip of our conversation.
Find that, the leads coming in are vetted by people that we establish relationships with. They're much better. The close rate's higher. The problem rate is way lower. And we're happy being the hidden guys in the industry for that.
This is awesome. How do you generate new ideas? Like on that treadmill in the morning? Or do you meditate?
Treadmill, on the toilet, taking a shower. It never stops. So
I love it. Great conversation. I'm excited to introduce Joe to you. Visit Intellifluence right now and make your voice be heard. PositivePhil.com. You can visit PositivePhil.com. Sign up for our newsletter. Our guest will send us stuff and we'll send our listeners stuff. Why is it so hard to do those little things that can change your life? Well, I'll tell you why. For me, at least, my mind stops me. It's trying to protect me, right? There are ideas and then there's an idea and then there's risk, right? Associated with that. Well, maybe I should. And I think that's why we have a 5-second window where we can move from idea to action before our brain steps in and sabotages our decision. It's all about making that decision instead of being indecisive. Our brains are trying to protect us. Risks are scary, but if you truly want to be the best person, the best entrepreneur, the best father, whatever it is, like Joe here on the show, if you are going to put yourself as an SEO expert, great, do the work, but also build and progress and build other stuff that can help support all of this, like an entire social media platform. So whatever you do in life, you just have to act on it, right? Because it will never be the right time. There isn't a right time. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the right time. I'm not trying to preach to you. That's just it. Hope you're enjoying life, living life with a smile. Let's put our hands together for the CEO of Intellifluence, Joe Sinkwitz. And thank you again for being here. Today on the show, Joe Sinkwitz. He has been in digital marketing for the past 20 years, running a variety of SEO and reputation management agencies, primarily for Fortune 500s, VCs, public companies, public individuals. And currently, he is CEO of Intellifluence, an influencer marketing network. There's a lot of buzz around that influence marketing. Tell us a little bit about why you started Intellifluence.
Sure thing. So it, like a lot of what I consider to be good ideas in retrospect, it was somewhat accidental. I was helping out a client, a large private client in the consumer packaged goods space. And one of the methods that we had to use to get relevant traffic that converts to our site was influencer marketing. It's one of those products that you can't really advertise for in AdWords. You can't really advertise for in Facebook or Twitter. So they're like, okay, we're going to approach influencers. We're going to, give them product. We're going to give them some money. We're going to get traffic. We'll make sales. The problem we kept running into is most of the agencies we found were very cost prohibitive. They would require a fairly large monthly minimum to get started. They really only focus on celebrities. And while that worked for this particular company because it was well funded, I recognized that there was a lot of people being left in the cold. There's, a lot of small businesses that can't really afford to jump into an engagement like that. And really, for a lot of small businesses, they don't really need a Kim Kardashian. They really need a peer, someone that is related to the end buyer that can say, hey, you know what? This product is for me. So we decided to build Intellifluence specifically for that. Capture the part of the market that was being ignored, and we're being rewarded for doing so.
This is awesome. I mean, I consider myself a decent marketeer, right? But this is what companies have to do because it brings them credibility. Instead of them tooting their own horn, right? Instead of them saying, I'm the best, I am the best, get other people that have influence within your vertical, within your space. And you're right, it doesn't have to be the Kim Kardashian. And when back in the days I was running stock promotion for these small micro cap stocks, they had a bunch of funding. They spent a bunch of money on marketing. Nothing happened. And I would tell them, listen, there are so many bloggers out there that just talk and write about this sector. It could be mining or gold mining or whatever. We're going to scrape a list of people. We're going to reach out. I'm going to hire someone overseas and they're going to reach out to them on their Twitter over and over again. I'm glad that you built a platform that can manage that entire process.
That distills down the level that's required in order to get in front. Like a lot of these industries, they might be seen as boring otherwise, and so they take rather boring marketing approaches. Doesn't have to be the case. You just have to get in front of the right people.
Do you consider, what were you doing 20 years ago? I mean, you've been in SEO for a long time, and I meet a lot of people that say, I'm a marketer. I'm like, well, wait. You were a sales rep, 5 years ago, but, you've been doing this for quite some time, reputation management, right, at SEO reputation management. But this is what you're excited about, I bet.
This is definitely where I'm excited. This is where I think we're going to see a merging of channels, and we've seen it already in some capacities where influencer the concept is really the maturation of the promise of what social media started out with. People got on board with social really early, and they struggled to see see the fruits of their labors. And now we're able to tie back, conversion all the way to the beginning point with UTM campaigns, with coupons. So we're able to see all this benefit. And we're seeing that, hey, you know what? This stuff, because engagement's becoming a larger signal within search, plays really well to the SEOs of the world. So I'm seeing a lot of these channels sort of blend and bleed into each other, and it's pretty awesome. Yes, I have been in search for 20 years now. I got started in 1997. It was kind of a funny story. I was in college. I was in college still. My undergrads were actually in operations management and management information systems. So I got 2 undergrad degrees. While I was there, I got a part-time job helping out a doctor. And the doctor, he just wanted a website. So, okay, I'm a nerd. Build a website. Then he's like, hey, you know what? I need to get traffic to this. How can we do this? I ended up, learning how to spam Alta Vista, essentially. And he's like, hey, I want to sell Viagra. I'm like, let's do it. So I kind of cut my teeth on the dirty aspects of the web. And then from there, it just kept going into more competitive industries to build up the skill set over the last 20 years.
It's so awesome, man. I mean, when I meet, I love what I do for a living, because yesterday I had Jason Nazar. He sold his company DocStock to Intuit for $50 million. I'm meeting awesome people, Jigger Shaw. But I love entrepreneurs that have this background, the marketing background, because sometimes, I mean, this stuff changes all the time. SEO algorithms, this and that, different tools. You have to always have your finger on what's hot and what's not. But one thing, this one startup here locally in San Diego I met with, and I would love to help them grow. And they throw out that word. We're looking for someone that can growth hack. And to me, it sounds kind of shady, but at the end of the day, it's just marketing, right? It's just finding a better
That's all it is. Yeah.
way to market.
Yeah. I mean, so the growth hacking term, I think they like to use that term because it sounds special. Being a ninja, being a samurai, whatever it might be. But the reality of it is marketing, but some of it is also product related and conversion related. So they're looking at lifting any metric that's positively associated with the company making more money. So, the growth hack in terms of marketing would be, more traffic. But there's also the growth hack on, retention aspects, getting people to renew their subscription. Growth hack on, conversion within a specific form, where maybe you lose one of the fields that you don't really need and you get a 0.05% lift. So there's quite a bit that goes into it. I certainly do not consider myself a growth hacker. I do prefer marketer, but I'm a little bit old school in that regard. It's pretty amazing how quick that's picked up, though. I mean, you go into LinkedIn now and you look for terms like growth hacker or influencer, and you see hundreds of thousands of people. So clearly there's a market for it.
I call it black hat marketing. It's just getting it. It's all the same. So let me put this into, okay, I have a company. Let's say I have a small startup company. I don't have a lot of money. And I saw that somewhere and you mentioned it earlier, where this program, Intellifluence, you're not breaking the bank. Smaller budgets, companies that they don't want the large celebrity, but they want help getting their brand out there. So let's say I have a small startup. My startup, I help companies, let's say smoothie shops, little smoothie restaurants. I help them communicate with their customers, let's say via video. How do I use your program? So I would sign up. Just walk us through. I would go to Intellifluence, and what's the process?
Sure. So we are discussing a B2B product where you're helping out smoothie shop operators to get in front of their consumer base. Yeah. All right. The easiest and first thing you'd want to do before you sign up to any service is get a better understanding of your buyer persona. So you just essentially listed out, the type of people that you'd be selling to, the smoothie shop operators. So you'd start to look and say, do I have any current customers that are smoothie shop operators? Let's look in the demographics. Are there any comparisons? Are there any parallels that I could draw from? Then I love going in the LinkedIn Sales Navigator. It's one of my favorite tools. I pitch it everywhere. I'm not associated with them. I just think it's great. And I can get a plethora of information. I could probably find all the smoothie shop operators in the U.S. without too much difficulty. From there, I can approach a couple of them and say, okay, I know that they're going to be willing to accept the product for free in exchange for reviewing it. So then I go into something like Intellifluence. I look for influencers that are related to the people that I just found. I start pitching them. I start saying, hey, you know what? This is what I do. I would like to either give you money or let you use this service for free in exchange for a fair review, not necessarily positive. Make it real. From there, the reviews can go live, get it shared out on LinkedIn, Twitter. Those tend to be the two better networks for B2B stuff. Facebook doesn't really work as great. Pinterest, Instagram, that's a little bit flashier, more towards B2C, health and cosmetic type stuff. So I'd get this network built up into LinkedIn. I'd get shared out quite a bit, and then I'd loop back around into bloggers. From there, there's quite a few people that are already in our network under like business categories. So I'd find those people that are willing to write up about this type of service. I would commission them to write up about my little consulting practice that can make your smoothie shop operation run as smoothly as possible. It all sort of fits together. I like to view it as an overall campaign. I love pure influence, but I also recognize that it's one aspect of a much broader thing. I created a concept a few months back. I call it compulsion marketing. And I ended up presenting this in November at the Ungag conference, which, if you're into Black Hat, you'd probably love them, the Ungag conference. What I wanted to do was take all the various psychological triggers that might exist in an overall buying cycle and figure out which marketing medium was best for getting in front of those people. So I would start with something like an aspirational influence, like a celebrity. In this case, it's probably overkill. And for that, you could find a local celebrity, or you could find a smoothie shop celebrity. Certainly, there's someone in the industry that has like a cult status. Associate with that person first. From there, then you kind of move into an authoritative influence, where you have people want to appeal to that authority. They want someone to tell them this is how you should run your business. You could follow the flow into pure influence, follow the flow into just I call it like a wolf pack signal. I believe Cialdini, in his most recent update of the influence book, he talked about unity. And so the concept here is if your neighbor has something and your neighbor's neighbor has something, your neighbor's neighbor's neighbor has something, you don't just want it, you almost feel like you need it. So having that pile-on effect after already seeing that the higher level authorities are telling you this is the way things should be, chances are you're going to buy the product. And, just viewing it as that overall campaign, I've seen a lot of people have a lot of success.
Man, I could listen to this the entire day. You sure know your stuff. I like it. You work a lot of hours, don't you?
I do. I can't really help that. I don't know if it's a positive thing to talk about improper work-life balance. I just enjoy it. I get up at 4 in the morning and I go to the office. I work there until 11, noonish. I use a walking treadmill desk for my morning hours. I get tired, get a little bit of calories expended, and I'll go home, have some lunch. I'll work from home until like 8 or 9 p.m. and then just crash. I just kind of repeat that, at least 5 days a week, usually 6 or 7.
It's part of your life. I mean, if you love what you're doing, it just melds into your life. It becomes passion and fun. That's the key right there. As long as it's fun and you enjoy doing it. And you're helping companies, which is great. What's your favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur?
Oh, boy. I think my favorite aspect is just the level of control. I think when I was first going through the entrepreneurial path, I thought, it would be being your own boss, meaning that you could take off whenever you wanted. But I found it was quite the inverse, where what I really enjoyed was I could be the one that kept driving a process forward. And so it ended up tying towards I work harder when it's my own thing. It's just how it played out. So I think I like working hard, and I think I like that I get to see the direct benefit of working hard.
What does this mean? I'm reading your LinkedIn, and it says, maybe you could shed some light, and optimize your campaigns over time with machine learning to maximize your ROI. Machine learning, that data science? Just maybe explain that a little.
Yeah, it is a little bit of data science. Yeah, so one of our earlier agencies, we developed a lot of our own technology. And one of the things that we would do is we would sign up for every affiliate program known to man, and then based on which one was converting best for a type of traffic and a type of site, we tried to. So we're dealing with like multiple variables, right? So you put a spam spigot on, and you have a ton of traffic going into a site, and it's selling a bunch of products. We would use machine learning to determine which offer should we be showing on which page when, depending upon where the person was coming from and what they're doing. Not a perfect thing, but we did find that it was far superior than just guessing or going with whatever offer was currently hot, because there was a lot of variation to it. In order to get there, we had to have a lot of data first. So we would run it for a while, and it looked like a dog, but after a period of time, it really picked up, and it started to hone in on the process. The difficulty is, as we determined at that point in time, you have to constantly keep adding programs in, because programs die, they fade away into existence. You have to keep the traffic in, you have to keep testing it. But the concept really works well when you're focused on a specific niche. So we were in payday. We were the largest organic search guys in payday. We were the largest organic search guys in car insurance, life insurance, home insurance. So we had plenty to play with. It was when we started going into like the deeper sections that we'd run into trouble, because we would have near as much volume on, say, wallets and rings and keyboards, general products. If we didn't have a sort of niche expertise and a lot of volume behind it, it was hard to get to those conclusions. But for our core products, it worked extremely well.
Man, those sectors or those verticals, that payday loan, insurance, that lead generation, man, people are cleaning up in those industries. I know a lot of lead generators running programs in those industries. Do you like what you're doing?
I like what we're doing a lot more than I like lead gen. Lead gen was great, and lead gen made a ton of money. There's no getting around it. I mean, we were making $10 million a year. We were doing fantastic. The problem is that lead gen could be shut off so quickly, and so we would run into regulatory issues, attorney general stuff, FTC stuff. So we found that by shifting and creating this sort of split business, now we have an agency that focuses on really nasty search penalties and problems and reputation management, and then we have the influencer marketing software as a service. Those are both scalable. Those are both things that will exist even if Google makes a really crazy change. Whereas in lead gen, we were so focused on one channel that it was extremely risky, and we had our issues. We got exposed for it in April 24th, 2012, with Penguin, in the first iteration of Penguin,
right? Where
all of a sudden, instead of making a lot of money, we started losing a lot of money because we had so much in variable costs. We had a fairly large overhead for labor. We were buying lots of links. So it exposed our inherent weakness. And from there, we learned, we evolved, created a new agency, and have succeeded since by focusing elsewhere.
Man, I need someone like you in my back pocket. I come across so many companies that just are fragmented. I mean, they have their own SEO department, or they're hiring offshore or whatever, and then they have their own different person with social media, and then they're trying to do the social influencer program. They have all this, and they don't have the right systems like CRM systems and all the tools, and I see a lot of them. And then they get funding, and then they hire a bunch of people that they don't really know how to manage, and it's hard. And it would be great to turn some of these clients over to you. Do you have an affiliate program for your influencer platform?
We will have a formal program for the influencer platform, hopefully in a month or so. We're going to be partnering with a couple large players, and so we'll launch at that point in time. On the agency side, we also do pay out referral fees just because it's a good common practice. Most of our agency stuff, we're 100% referral driven. So we don't really advertise. The reason that we don't is when we did in the past, we would get a lot of just leads that really weren't good for us. They weren't good clients for us. But when we find that, the leads coming in are vetted by people that we establish relationships with, they're much better. The close rate's higher. The problem rate is way lower. And we're happy being the hidden guys in the industry for that.
This is awesome. How do you generate new ideas? Like on that treadmill in the morning? Or do you meditate?
Treadmill, on the toilet, taking a shower. It never stops. So I don't sleep very well because it doesn't stop. So there's the downside to that. I tried meditation. My co-founder on Intellifluence is really big in meditation. He's written a couple apps for meditation just to train himself. He's really geeky like that. But it just didn't click for me. For whatever reason, I was never able to turn it off. I greatly admire those that have that ability, because it seems like that's the next level of control that one needs in order to just be able to step away and have that break.
Shut off the mind. I have a hard time too. My brother is Marine Corps, and he says, sleep when you die. You know, that's the type of family I grew up with. Just go, keep running. But I had this one guy on the show 300 episodes ago, and he sent me his product. It's a virtual reality meditation program, and that's the only thing that helps me shut it down. I'm going to have him send you one. I'll track him down and have him send you one. It's pretty cool. You put it on, and you will definitely get lost and try to shut down that mind. What makes you smile?
What makes you? I think probably my children the most, and also a very irreverent humor. But, you know, the children I'll start with. I got 3 kids, aged 10, 6, and 4. They're great. They're little nerds, so I really appreciate that. And then, of course, just dirty, irreverent humor. Everyone likes that.
How do you define success? I mean, look at you. You've made a bunch of cash in the past. I'm sure you're building this business. You just keep building and just keep moving forward. Is that the whole point of it all?
I think so. I define success as options. And so whenever you have the option to do, or an increased pool of options that you can draw from, that's success. I tend to be somewhat stoic philosophically, so I just keep going whether it's good or whether it's bad. I try not to get too high or too low. But if I want to stop, I could stop. I choose not to. Therefore, I have the option, and that, therefore, I think would mean that, you know, we're having success.
Here's a quote from you. I'm trapped in a 20-year running infinite loop of entrepreneurialism and SEO, and I couldn't be happier. That is awesome.
You're really going deep on the LinkedIn profile. Yeah.
I'm going in there.
Some of what you see there. Yeah, so I was playing around, so I figured out how to manipulate LinkedIn's algorithm for a while. And so I was having fun. I think I was number 1 for SEO for a bit of time. And I realized maybe it got to be really janky, where like every other word on my profile was SEO, and I had SEO in my name on there. All my recommendations for SEO. I dialed that back a lot, but I left that tag there because I liked it.
It's fun being a marketer because you're creating stuff like an artist. You're creating campaigns, and you're helping companies grow. It's exciting.
Absolutely. I think marketing is really a nice blend of science and art. I cannot draw a picture to save my life, but I could write books like no other. Or rather, no other within 5 feet of me. So, you know, being able to write and being verbose, that's a form of art. And then, of course, all the science. And we have to approach it like it's an experiment. Otherwise, we're just, you know, goofing off. So long as we approach that experiment, you know, logically, and we have our hypothesis, we test it, and we, you know, we can challenge ourselves on the conclusions, there's no limit. You know, every medium can be manipulated and optimized. And there's so many new mediums that keep popping up that, you know, any young person that wants to get into marketing can absolutely do it if they have that mindset. But
if you do it, really do it. I mean, stick your head in forums, get involved, because I think that's the reason I love this podcast, is because I get to meet people like you and rub off and learn from people like you. I truly wish, I mean, would you guys consider white labeling this? I saw that somewhere, that language.
Yeah. So on Intellifluence, we've discussed it. You know, it's kind of in our enterprise plan. The difficulty is we have to essentially retrofit the product in order to white label. And so it's on our project roadmap. It just keeps getting pushed down because we keep finding new things that we want to roll out, and new things based on consumer feedback, like, oh, we wish you had this. We're like, oh, that's a great idea. Why didn't we think of it? And we go and rush and we start putting it in. Like, we're going to have a big update that comes out next week. I know that we're currently talking on the 24th of February. So I don't know when this goes live, but But the week after, we'll probably have an entirely different look to the site that incorporates a lot of feedback. The white label stuff will come. We have a lot of people that have reached out, that mainly probably because of who we are and some of our other projects, that they already are aware of us and they recognize you probably won't screw it up too bad, Joe. So let's go with you and have a white label. It will be pricey, and there is a kind of a waiting list for it, but it will come. It will come. My preference would be to make something that's so good you don't care if it's white labeled or not, and then make it even better for white label.
Man, I love it. I'm signing up as an influencer. I think I am an influencer. I am. This is going to happen.
And you know what? If I haven't spammed you yet, it was coming either way.
I really like you. I appreciate you spending time. I hope you don't mind. In some upcoming episodes, I'll say, this episode is brought to you by Intellifluence.com. Visit Intellifluence.com if I would love to help cheer you on and be your cheerleader over here. I really, truly believe in getting other people to mention your company is a great way to build a brand, especially people with, a following. It always helps. And I like the free product, the giveaway. I think that's great.
Absolutely. And not only as an influencer, I can hook you up too with a free version of the brand product, because I think you might be able to use that to find even more people that are relevant to your show. The way that we list out influencers by network, you may be able to just troll down our business section and say, oh, this guy's in here, the former head of search for Bing? Sweet. Pull him in. So I'll send that over to you when we're done with the call, just so you have that too. You can be an influencer for whatever you want to do on your show, but also you could be a brand to help you find people for the show.
What an awesome guy.
This is great. Next time I'm in Scottsdale, I'll definitely reach out to you. Next time you're in San Diego, let's hang out for a little bit. Thank you so much, so much, Joe. I will definitely be your cheerleader over here. Have a great day and continue on your path.
Thank you very much, Bill.
All right, bye, Joe.
Get your influence on over at Intellifluence and let your voice be heard. Visit us, positivephil.com, and our Twitter handle, AskPositivePhil. Be kind to yourself and be kind to one another.